You got my big white dog here, huh? Hmm? What you say? What you say? Huh? What you say? Okay, get down. Get down. Come on, get down. Hello everyone. Thank you and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about something that's very important to all of us that live in other countries abroad, and for those that know me, you know I live in Thailand, and it's how we get our money from the UK, in my case from the UK to here to Thailand and into my bank in Thailand, and how I've set it all up. And what I'd recommend, and the various options that are open to you to be able to be comfortable with the money you're bringing in, etc. Now, firstly, for those coming from the UK, I would strongly recommend you try to keep your residency in the UK. And to do that, you need to have a UK address, a UK bank account. It's recommended you're registered with a doctor. And you've got those three things: address, bank account, and doctor. And with that, you can have your monies that you get in the UK, your pension, etc., paid directly into your bank account in the UK. How you bring that then to Thailand, I'll cover in a moment. For those that would prefer to make a clean break away from their home country, in this case UK, then you need to consider this very, very carefully, because if you sell up everything and you give up your residency, and you then got to set up any monies coming in, your pensions, etc., and direct them to a bank here in Thailand, then you've obviously got to set up the bank account in Thailand first, and then you change everything that you're getting money from to redirect your money from your UK bank out here. And then you can make a clean break from the UK, but it's got severe consequences. The consequences are, once you lose your residency in the UK, which you'll lose, because after 90 days, I think it is, you lose your residency if you've got nothing. You won't be entitled to have a bank account. Once you lose your residency, you're no longer entitled to use the NHS, which is important. And what's even bigger in the initial period anyway, is that by transferring your account, your UK pension, if you've got a UK pension, government pension I'm talking about, if you transfer that here, then it becomes, it doesn't qualify anymore for any upgrades, any increases in amount, etc. So virtually your UK pension becomes frozen at the amount it is when you break away your residency, which is not so good, because initially it might not matter too much, but obviously the longer you stay away, and the pensions increase, and the prices increase, and inflation increases, and all these different things happen, your actual pension is going to be degraded and worth not so much, and it can eventually be significantly behind the rest of the pension grades, etc., and be causing you problems. And I've seen it here often. People that have retired here a long time ago and broken away all the ties with the UK, etc., and the pension has become frozen, and they really struggle. They really, really struggle in the end. Some people have done this 20 years ago or so. It's become a big problem for them. You know, living here for some time, I've also seen many cases of where people have come here from the UK and been happily here living in Pattaya or in Thailand. Older people like myself who haven't got no real insurance and people who've got no real savings suddenly get something go seriously wrong with their health. Could be a stroke, could be many things can go wrong, and they can't afford to have it dealt with here in Thailand, and they've got no insurance to cover the costs. So I've seen many people then get on a plane and head back to the UK, although they've been non-resident there for quite some time. They get back to the UK, they go to the hospital, and they're not entitled to any treatment. But they'll get treatment, but they'll have to pay for it. You have to be back and resident 3 months in the UK before you fall back into the protection system of the NHS. And I think it's 90 days, 3 months anyway. You've got to be back there. Also, once you're back there for 3 months, then your pension re-kicks in and it catches up with whatever the pension is at that stage that you go back after the 90 days. However, really, if you're seriously ill and you need urgent medical treatment, that's not a lot of good thinking, well, I've got to sit here for 3 months and I wait for the NHS treatment. Although, from what I understand, the waiting lists for the NHS at the moment are way beyond the 3 month stage anyway. So serious illnesses, I think you get treated quicker if it's life-saving, if it's a life-saving requirement. Now let's talk about banks. Here in Thailand, the banking system has changed dramatically over the last few years, as I think many banking systems have. And I visited UK earlier this year with my family, and we see there that a lot of people pay with their telephones, etc. The same as here in Thailand also. You have an app on your smartphone, and most people use this as a means of payment now for low value through to high value. Then they use the telephone apps. Even the use of debit cards is not nearly as prevalent as it used to be. Now, talking about debit cards here from a bank, you've got to pay an annual cost for your debit card, and that annual cost is related to the amount of benefits that come with the card. When you go into the bank, they've got several debit card options that you can choose, right from very basic and maybe about, I don't know, 150 or 300 baht a year, up to quite a high benefit card. I think I pay nearly 1,000 a year for mine, but it covers all sorts of things. I get insurance for car accidents, I get urgent medical treatment up to an amount of 50,000 baht or something like that. And it's got several benefits to it. So to me, it's worth paying that extra bit just in case something happens and I need to use it. So depending on the benefits on the card, depends on how much you pay for the annual cost of the card. But, strangely enough, I've seen recently that a lot of people are saying that they're doing away with even carrying a debit card, which I really don't understand. Maybe I'm missing some of the benefits and things now, the different ways of doing things. But to me, we don't use, we have our debit cards and we don't use them. Most of it, the payment's done on my telephone and the smart app, as I said. And but we still need every so often to go to the ATM and draw some cash out, because we find that we still need cash for when my daughter goes to school and the wife buys her sweets, blah, 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 and all these sorts of things. Little amounts, but I'd say 3 or 4 times a month she draws 1,500 baht a time, maybe a bit more than that, maybe 6 times a month, I think. 1,500 bahts a time, just to get cash and keep and use it for niff-naff and trivia, small purchasing things. When she goes to the market, for instance, not all the market people have the facility to pay for this prompt pay or whatever they call it, and she pays them cash, and we need her cash. So my question is, if you don't have a debit card, how do you get your cash easily? Sure, you can get it if you take your bank book to the bank and withdraw it at the bank, but that's a bit of a pain, and banks here in Thailand are very, very slow service. So that wouldn't be the best option, I would think, to go to the bank just to get some ready-use cash. So if you don't have a debit card, how do you get the cash? If you know the answer to that, please put it in the comments, etc., and bring me up to speed on that. I'd find that very, very interesting. If there's something I'm missing there and I don't know, I would appreciate that. So let me now move on to something a lot more interesting to most people, I think, is how do you transfer the money from your bank in the UK to your bank here in Thailand or wherever you are. Now, of course, there's always an option, but if you've got a bank in the UK or wherever and you've got a bank here in Thailand, you can do an international transfer, which we all know, or those of us that are used to transferring money, if you're just doing a straight bank transfer between the UK and here in Thailand to a bank here, not only is it much more expensive because you've got to go into exchange rates and bank service fees and international charges, etc., but it's also slower. It can take a couple of days to get the money from one account to the other account, and expensive and time, and it's really, it would be the very last resort, I would suggest. When I settled down here some years ago, I found this company called TransferWise. And I looked at that and I set it up, and it was excellent. It worked very, very well, and it's improved over the years. It's now called Wise. It's no longer TransferWise, it's just Wise. And I know it's a very, very popular way of transferring money. Most of the guys that I know here use Wise to transfer the money. And how it works is, if you've got a UK bank, for instance, you transfer money if you want to, for instance, if you want to bring £1,000 from your UK bank and put it in your Thai bank, then you transfer the £1,000 to Wise, which they've got offices set up everywhere in their organisation. So if you join Wise, you'll be allocated to the best way. But I transfer £1,000, say, to Wise in the UK, and then Wise then transfers the converted amount, etc., to my bank here in Thailand. Now, the big benefits is I get a very, very good exchange rate from Wise. They charge a small amount, and compared with what you're transferring, it's a very small amount they charge as a service fee for doing it, and they pay it directly into your account here in Thailand, or to whoever you're paying it. You can actually pay other people, but you can only pay it from your account. So it works very, very well. It's a super service. This is not supported by Wise or anything, I'm just telling you. And there probably is already other applications. It offers similar things. So search around, but certainly Wise is very, very good, and you get a good rate for your money. The other big positive is, if I want to transfer £1,000 into my account, if I go into onto my computer, I go to Wise on my computer, I set it all up, they ask me how I'm going to pay. I say I'm going to pay it from my bank in the UK. Now they can either connect me direct on my computer to the bank in the UK, or I can go on to my bank account in the UK via my telephone, and I usually do it via my telephone. I go in and I say, okay, give Wise £1,000, transfer to that. Almost instantly, it arrives in my account in the here in Thailand. So very, very fast. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Sometimes I get the alert that my money's arrived before I get the alert that the money's left my account in the UK. It's really that fast. It's very, very fast. I have had a problem or two with TransferWise, and let me tell you about that now, is that I found that normally I transfer around about 50,000 baht at a time. Once a month I bring 50,000 baht here from the UK. But there's been the odd occasion when I've been buying something that I wanted to transfer more. And I went into Wise and I said, okay, I don't want 50,000, I want blah, 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 something way above that. And then when I went to set it up on Wise, they said, sorry, the bank I use here in Thailand is called the KTB Bank, Krung Thai Bank, it's called KTB, and they said transferring to this account in Thailand, the maximum transfer amount is 50,000. They're only authorized by the Thai government to pay 50,000 into most banks here in Thailand. Only two exceptions, and Wise will tell you about it. One of them is the Bangkok Bank, BBK, and the other one is the Kasikorn Bank, KTB. Now they can transfer much higher amounts into those two accounts instantly. So if I was setting up a new account now, I would probably look at KTB or BBK, Bangkok Bank, as a prime, as my prime account. Consequently, from that, I actually opened another account with KTB, and if I want to transfer larger amounts, I transfer it into KTB, and there's never any problem. I'm not so sure when you do it to, like my KTB account here, that's limited to 50,000. I don't know how long I've got to wait before I do it. Maybe I can make subsequent transactions at the same time, but I've done it before and I can't remember the result. But I think there might be a period, it may be 24 hours. I don't know that you can do it in. So if you want to avoid, if you need to transfer amounts more than that, I would try and set up your accounts with either KTB or BBK. Now then, just quickly to discuss that a little bit further. When I was looking at setting up an additional account, I went into my first choice, okay, go for Bangkok Bank. A lot of people use Bangkok Bank. And I went into a local bank, Bangkok Bank here, and I said, okay, I want to open a new account. And they started doing all the paperwork. And then there's a manager type woman come across. She said, you realize, of course, that all new accounts have got to take out an insurance policy for some sort of insurance, and the cost for that is 5,000 baht for 1 year. I said, why? She said, that's the bank policy. I knew right away it was a scam. It was a scam. And I've heard about other people being caught with this. They needed to pay for something. It's just the bank trying to get more business. They're going to get points for getting a new account, and then they're going to get points if someone takes out an insurance policy. I got the scam right away. So I kind of got a little bit annoyed with a little bit of steam coming out my ears, and I told the manager, I said, okay, forget the whole transaction. And then as we were walking, my wife was with me, as we were walking towards the door, she said, okay, you don't need to take the insurance policy out, I'll waive it in your case. But the damage was done, and I went out and we went down to the Kasikorn Bank and opened it up, no problem, straight away. So just finally, let me come to one other point, and it's along the same themes, but just something to be aware of, be thinking of, if you're planning to come here to retire. Now, it's advisable if you're coming in to retire to get the OA visa. Now you can apply for that both outside of Thailand or you can apply for it inside Thailand. The difference, I think, is if you plan for it outside Thailand, as part of the requirement, you need to have a health insurance thing for so much, which is not required if you apply for this OA visa in Thailand itself. And this is the basics of the visa that will allow you to get your next visa, your retirement visa, your marriage visa, whatever. That's the baseline that they work from. Now, when you get your OA visa, obviously that's the time then you need to start thinking about opening your bank account, because for the retirement visa, you need to have 800,000 baht deposited in a Thai bank account to qualify for a retirement visa, and you've got to have it in there for a certain length. So it's one of the top priorities when you arrive here is to get that money into that account, open the account, get the money in, start the visa application rolling, etc., which you can do yourself, but it's quite stressful, I think, and the majority of people, if they're doing it here in Thailand, they get an agent to do this for them. And would I recommend it? I don't want to recommend it, and I don't want not to recommend it, because obviously if you use an agent, it costs money. Now, I've just had a friend here, in fact he's here, he's just gone through all this. He just set up his retirement visa, just completed it yesterday, I think. And he used an agent, and he used a very poor agent, actually. I won't give the name of the agency, but it cost him 35,000 baht for the agent to set it all up for him to do the retirement visa. From what I saw and what I heard, this guy, this agent, was doing it. He made a very poor job of it. It was very long. I think he was pushing himself forwards as an agent, but then using an agent to do it, if you get me, for him. So everything took longer and it didn't run quite so smoothly. There's lots of agents in Pattaya that will do it for you, even if you don't have, a lot of people don't have 800,000 baht, 20,000 odd pound, that you can deposit into an account just to get your retirement visa here. You should have, and that's the requirement. But if you go to the right agents here, they can take care of everything. Just everything costs can be done by cash, cash under the counter, etc. And many restrictions can get waived, and I see a lot of people do that. If you're getting a marriage visa, it's a little bit easy. It's only 400,000 baht, but that's still 11,000 pounds. So it's not within everybody's ability to be able to deposit that. So getting back to getting the retirement visa, if you're come here. Yeah, at the moment you get 60 days on a tourist visa, which is absolutely wonderful. It's plenty of time to do everything. But if you're coming to retire, get onto the job as quickly as you can. If you're going to use an agent, go and contact an agent. Search it on Google, look for recommendations, and I'm sure you'll find an agent that suits. The only one that I would sort of push people to is not really an agent. If you go down to the immigration centre itself here in Pattaya, in Jom Tien Soi 5, you go in there, and on the left-hand side inside the yard, you see a lot of people running around in yellow shirts. They can do anything. They can do anything. So if you went down there, go in there, talk to one of these people in the yellow shirts, tell them that you're after a retirement visa, they'll give you a quote, and they're super people. They know everybody in the immigration office, which is right there, and they can do it probably quicker than anybody else can. Still cost you, but if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. And these actually let me go just a little bit further than that. No matter what you're doing, actually, if you're doing a 90-day reporting, or you're getting a re-entry permit, or you're doing something, extending your visa or something, these yellow shirts are invaluable. For instance, when I've been going down to do my 90-day reporting, I've got a form to fill in. I've got to get photocopy of my passport and a couple of things anyway. So I go down there and I give my passport to one of the ladies or something in the yellow shirt, and I say, look, I want my 90-day reporting done. She does all the form, completes it all, etc. She duplicates my passport. She sets it all up. She takes a picture of me. You need a picture as well. And then she gives me all the paperwork and says, okay, just take it over there. And it cost me 100 baht, £2.50, something like that. And I take it across there, I hand it in there. Very shortly after that, I get my passport back, all made up already. Hassle-free, virtually hassle-free. So that's another tip as well. So anyway, that's about banking, and that's about transferring money, and that's about applying for a visa. All these things I hope you'll find of interest, and maybe help you make your journey to settling down in this wonderful country a little bit easier. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye for now.